in the document area or the work area, they are available here in the layer panel as well. We can arrange them as we want. Now if you want to put this cloud over the whale, we will just move it in the layer panel over the whale. And now the cloud is over the whale. If you want to rename the layers, select them and click on the name, just like this. Or you can select them and press enter to rename them. Let's now rename our layers. I will name this cloud. This will be whale. And let's make this background. Now I want another copy of the cloud to be under the whale. How can we do that? There are a couple of the ways that we can duplicate or make a copy of a layer. One of them is right click on the layer and duplicate it like this. Now we have two copies of the cloud. We can simply move one of the copies under the whale. We just click on it and drag it under the whale. Just like this. If you want to remove a layer, just right click on it and delete. You can also come over here and press this icon, which is the delete icon. Now we remove this one. Another way for copying a layer, press on the Alt or Option and drag it down like this, or drag to anywhere that you want, and it will make a copy of that object. Now as you can see, we have two layers. Let me remove this as well. Another way is just selecting your layer in the layer panel and Command and J. Like this, you will make a copy of the layer. Now let's move to the properties that we have in this area of the layer panel. So if I select one of them, for example the blue whale, let me move it up. First thing, we have the blending mode. This blending option is basically blending your object with the underlying layer. And you have many types of the blending mode. You will cover this in a separate section. Then we have the opacity. This controls the transparency of an object. If the opacity is 100, the transparency is 0. If the opacity is 0, the transparency is 100. And also we have fill. Fill does a similar thing, but it works with the shape layers. Let me quickly create a shape here. And don't worry about the shape layers as well. We have a separate section about the shape layer. We will talk about everything about them. But for now, let me give it a stroke. So for the shape layers, we have the stroke and the fill. So this fill option only affects the fill, not the stroke. Just like this. As you can see, opacity affects everything. Fill only affects the fill. Let me remove this for now. And let's move to the lock options. We have the couple of the lock option. This one is locking the object and you cannot do anything to it. You cannot select it and you cannot change anything in it. For example, opacity or blending mode. But let's unlock it for now. And if we click on this one, this will lock only the transparent properties. You cannot select it or move it around, but you can play with the fill, opacity and the blending modes. Let me undo the blending mode and the opacity. Now we have the artboard look. This is when you work on the artboards. We quickly went through this one in the first section. If you have an artboard, for example, you have a couple of the artboards, you can lock one of them. For example, we locked this one. Now we cannot click on the artboard itself. In the user experience section, we will be working with the artboards. For now, I just Command Z to undo it, or Control Z. And let me fix this photo again. This will be it for this lesson. In the next lesson, I will show you how to arrange your layers in the layer panel.